Welcome to Learn to Adult, the podcast guiding you to adulting better. My name is Abby, and welcome to a brand new super special episode. I talked about this last week. I wanted to start doing profiles of different jobs, careers, life goals that people have attained, because I know when I was younger, I always thought that people just sort of naturally got where they were. It was hard to see all of the work someone put in because it's not always apparent. You don't know all the things that are going on in the background of someone's job or the years that it took for them to get there, especially with someone with a passion job, someone that maybe paints or writes or, in this case, dances. It's hard to see that, oh, well, they're just naturally this good and they became insta-famous. Well, that's not and famous or well-to-do with their career, I suppose. And that's not true. That's just untrue. So a lot of people do a lot of work to get where they are. And I wanted to start interjecting some really cool jobs and kind of doing a profile on them and what they're doing, how they got there, and what they're going to attain afterwards. Because most people, this isn't their end goal. Even if they have something that you would love, they're working towards something better. And that's what I'm trying to do this week. So for this episode, I am talking to the lovely Avery. I discovered her on Twitch. Now, if you don't know what Twitch is, she's going to explain this to you in a second. I'll try to give the nuts and bolts, but I always feel like I do a terrible job. Twitch is a streaming service, and people watch or actually stream video games. So you can watch someone play video games, and they entertain you while they do it. They talk. They talk to people in chat. They have their own little communities. It's actually taken off in the last couple of years, and it's really amazing to see that, I came from obviously a generation of, you'll never make anything of yourself playing video games. Well, that'll teach you, because we learned how to make a job out of streaming. Much like YouTube, this is a platform in which people have built a career, and Avery has done just that. So without any more of me bumbling through what Twitch is, I'm just going to jump into the interview with Avery and her awesome success that she's achieved and what she plans to do afterwards. I hope you guys enjoy. Hi everyone, we're here with the lovely Avery, and she has a Twitch stream, which is how I found her. And how do you pronounce your username? It's little...
Everybody gets it wrong. It's okay. It's Little Siha.
Little Siha. Okay. And so basically you have a very interesting Twitch stream. And first I'll have you kind of try to explain what Twitch is, because if I do, I don't know if I have the right angle for it.
Yeah. Okay. So Twitch, up until recently, kind of used to be just a live streaming website for video games. So anybody could go on there and live stream a game and talk to their community, and people can come in and chat and hang out and watch. I guess sometimes people come in just to hang out with someone, or sometimes people come in just to watch someone play a game that they like, or help give advice, or watch a game that they've never seen before and check it out for the first time. So but since I think about a month ago, they added real life streaming. So now you can stream whatever you want. It doesn't have to be just games. So it's pretty much a live streaming website for anything you want.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Bob Ross had a channel for, I think he still does.
Yeah, that was amazing. He had when they introduced Creative, which is a section where you can go on and paint or draw or dance or sing or whatever. They introduced it with a week-long nonstop Bob Ross marathon, and it had it had a crazy amount of views, and also people were using gaming terms in the chat of Bob Ross. So every time he made a mistake and fixed it, everybody would be saved or clutch, and it was
That's
great.
Fantastic.
It was really funny.
That's fantastic. So you do something a little bit more unique. You do Just Dance,
Yep.
and which is a game on Xbox and PlayStation. Is it on Nintendo at all? I don't know.
It's on everything. They put it out on everything. They still put the games out on the old Wii that came out 10 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's literally on everything.
All right. Yeah, I am, by the way, legit terrible at that game. So
No, it's okay. I used to only play it as a fun party game with friends, and we'd all be bad at it. But when I wanted to start learning how to dance, I started using it as a way to practice. So yeah.
Okay. So you're super good at it, but also there's a whole bigger picture, and this is one of the one of the many reasons I decided I wanted to talk to you was because not only do you live stream Just Dance and are very good at it, you also use that to because you have the Twitch stream and people donate money or they subscribe to your channel, and you were able to fund your way into dance school, which I think
Yeah.
is bananas, and that's awesome.
Yeah. That kind of blew my mind a little bit because I was considering starting like some sort of like fundraising stream because we usually do charity streams a lot where
Hmm.
like if anybody donates they can challenge me to do whatever they want for a dance. So if they donate any amount they could be like, okay, do a blindfold dance, or if they donate they can say do a dance in heels or whatever. So I was considering doing one of those, but there was one day I was on stream and I was just talking about how I was saving up for dance school, and then someone donated like $20 and was like, "Good luck," and then someone donated $50 and was like, "I want to fund dance school," and then it just like kept going until we funded it, and I was just like super confused because I wasn't
Oh,
expecting it at all. But yeah, I'm starting dance school in April, and it's like my dream dance school, so I'm like I'm so excited. I
oh,
can't.
that's fantastic. Okay, so from there, I wanted to talk about first of all, how long did you know that you wanted to dance, like professionally, or what is your end goal?
Um, so like I think I always kind of loved dancing, but for the longest time I refused to let myself learn because I was like making a bunch of excuses. Like I was like, man, I'm too tall and skinny and I look awkward dancing, and like I'm really bad at it. I'll never learn how to dance. I'll just work like a 9 to 5 forever, blah blah blah. Um, and my mom couldn't afford to put me in like dance classes or anything like that growing up. Although at one point I did for like a couple months, like we did try to do it for a couple months, but I wasn't like in the right mindset to learn anything.
Right.
Um, so one year we got the Wii for Christmas. I think it was the year that it came out, and Just Dance came out. Like the very first one came out the same day with
Hmm.
it.
Yeah.
So we got that, and I like played it constantly. Like I never ever stopped playing it, and they've come out every single year since then. um so we just kept buying them every year, and like the if you go back to like the first game, the dances are extremely basic, but the more games they put out, or every game they put out, sorry, is it gets more difficult to do the dances. Like they get more intricate, so I kind of like slowly learned to dance with the series.
Right.
Because the first game dances are like extremely repetitive, they're super easy, like you put your hand up and then you put your hand down and it's like that's it. But now they have like extreme dances, which are super hard to learn. And like even the normal ones are still pretty difficult. So um, that's kind of where I learned to dance. There was also they announced a Just Dance World Cup, like kind of like Just Dance esports.
Right.
I think 3 years ago. I think it was 2014. And basically, you would compete on their multiplayer online, and the top two people from every console would get flown out to Paris to compete in the World Cups. And I ended up making it. And after that, I was like, wow, I must be like a lot better at dancing than I thought. So it kind of like gave me a little bit of like confidence, and I was like, I can actually do this. So um after that I just started taking the game a bit more seriously, and I was like, okay, how can I do, like I know this choreography already, but how can I do it more precise, and like how can I learn how to like roll my body, or like wave my arm more intricately or whatever. Like it was just very small things. I took it pretty slow.
Right.
um, so yeah, that's pretty much how I did it. After the World Cup, I was like, man, I want to do this all the time. This is so cool. Like there's no better feeling for me than like being able to do what I love, like on a stage in front of like thousands of people. It's like really cool. It's
Oh,
a really cool feeling.
absolutely. So obviously you said that when you started you were doing very rudimentary, like with the game where it was hand up, hand down. How
Yeah.
much now that you're obviously a very seasoned pro at this, how often did you and how often do you now practice?
Um, Never. Like
Why?
I don't know how to explain, because I pretty much only stream it. I never play it offline anymore because I mean, I don't have the time now that
Right.
like I run the channel by myself. I kind of get overwhelmed, so I end up pretty much running errands like 90% of the time.
Right.
So everything comes from what I've learned during streaming. Like I'll stream myself doing a song for the first time. It really doesn't bother me if I look stupid or something,
Mm-hmm.
because I want to learn, and also it makes me feel better to learn a song for the first time on stream, just to prove to everyone that I'm not like a like natural born dancer or whatever. Like it takes practice for everybody, and
Oh yeah.
I
Oh
don't
yeah.
I don't want to come off as like I'm perfect, because I'm definitely not. So
I just know these dances before they even exist. I'm great.
exactly.
Yeah.
I just have it in my brain before it even exists. No, I like looking imperfect on stream so that people are reminded that nobody is born good at something. So
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, I'm a very big proponent of the you have to work for what you want, and especially even if you were a naturally good dancer, like that's not just dance has all kinds of different um styles, I
Mhm.
guess. And so you would have to know like a lot of them if you wanted to just be naturally good at it out of the box,
Yeah,
but
yeah. There are two extreme dances on the most recent game, which is 2017, and one is like a hip hop one that's really intense, and I'm really good at it. But the second extreme song is like an African dance, kind of like it's
right.
really hard, and I'm really bad at it. So it depends on the style. And like again, I'm still learning. Like I want to constantly be learning. I don't ever want to get to a point where I'm like I'm the best, so I'm just gonna stop here and keep doing this forever. Like I want to keep learning. So I'm going to try to keep learning that one on stream too, because it's really hard.
Oh yeah, gotta go for that gold, that white whale.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so and also at some point in your life, you and this was what a couple years ago, you moved to New Zealand.
Hmm.
Um, why? Because that's awesome, by the way.
Okay, so the reasoning is not awesome, but in the end it worked out. I actually told this story on stream like yesterday, so I'm going to tell it again.
Yeah.
So I was dating this guy, as
Oh,
you
it's a
do.
boy story.
Yeah, yeah. I was 18. Give me a
I
break.
understand. No shame. I get it.
So I was 18. I was working at GameStop for like minimum wage, like 2 hours a day, like 2 days a week. Like they gave me no hours. I was also going to college, but the colleges, at least in this area, I don't know what they're like everywhere else, but the colleges here, if you're a freshman, you get like last pick of the classes. So like when I was trying to pick classes, the only ones left were like pottery and swimming and stuff like that, and nothing I
Hmm.
wanted to actually take. So I was taking classes that like weren't beneficial to me at all.
Yeah, and they're not like those are cheap either.
No, exactly, exactly. And I felt like I was just kind of like wasting my time. Like in my free time, all I did was play video games, and that was it. Like I didn't go out with friends or do anything, and I kind of hated. I just like didn't like my life. And
Right?
my grandmother always told me that like if you're not a college person, then you're a traveling person, and if you're not a traveling person, you're a college person, which could be wrong. I don't know, but I remember being like, if college isn't my thing and it's not working out for me, maybe I should go travel. And my boyfriend at the time was like, yeah, I like want to go travel around the world, blah blah blah. And he was going to be leaving for Japan, um, and staying there for a couple months and then going to New Zealand. So after he left for Japan, we stayed like long distance. And I was like, I'm going to save up to go to New Zealand because I don't want to be here anymore. I don't want to live this boring life where I'm not learning anything. And so I left college and I saved up like every penny from GameStop, even though I made like nothing. I saved up everything,
Yeah.
uh, moved out to New Zealand, um, a couple weeks before my boyfriend did, with like $200 to my name, something like that, and was couch hopping for a while. Actually, one of my mods was the first person to let me stay with them, and he was like incredibly nice, and like I'll never ever forgive him. Sorry, I'll never.
How dare you?
I'll never forgive you, Nick. No, I'll never be able to repay him. Is what I was looking for. I just woke up. Okay, give me a break.
Oh, I get it. I get it.
Um, and long story short, within a couple of weeks of him being there, he had already cheated on me with several of my coworkers, and he had also cheated on me with some people in Japan, and also an ex-girlfriend back home when we were together here.
Wow, covered all the bases, didn't he?
Yeah, pretty much everything that walked, he was in it. So I was very depressed. super, super depressed because we had just moved out there and I was already dealing with homesickness. Like I had no family anywhere near me.
Mm-hmm.
I did have a couple friends that I was staying with that were really, really great to me. And like, I was at a point where like I wasn't sleeping and I wasn't eating at all, but they still made me dinner every night just because they were like, we know you're not going to eat it, but the option's here if you want it. And like,
Oh, that's
they
good.
were,
Good
yeah,
friends.
they were incredibly, incredibly nice to me, but it was a huge struggle for like a couple months because I was still couch hopping and I felt like a burden everywhere that I couch hopped because obviously I'm like sleeping on their couch and like using their stuff and like I would pay them rent, but like I still felt horrible.
Right.
Um, but if I don't know what happened, I think I just woke up one day and was like, I need to get my life together. And so I found a better job because I was still working with him and like a bunch of the girls that he cheated on me with. And that was horrible. That was
Right.
so miserable. Um, so I found a better job that paid a lot more as well. And then finally found my own place with like an amazing group of people, which I was very lucky because I found it on their equivalent of like Craigslist, but people were like incredibly nice. They were like my family for like a really long time. And then I started doing the World Cups, and yeah, after that, it all just kind of tumbled upward, which sounds impossible, but like it kind of did. It all happened within the time span of like a couple months. So
Oh, wow.
um, yeah, for a long time when I was depressed, I was like, I think I'm just gonna go back home because there's no point. But I did have a friend back home that was like, if you come home, then you went out there to learn nothing. Like you wasted your time, you wasted so much money. You need to like stay there and like learn a lesson and grow as a person. So I'm glad I did, even though it was like killing me. I'm
Wow.
really glad I stayed out there.
You
So
have
yeah.
awesome friends, by the way.
Well, everybody else was like, "Yeah, please come home," and I was
Oh,
like,
well, yeah.
but this one person was a guy that I used to work with was like, if you don't stay there and like try to grow as a person, you're just gonna come back and do the exact same thing. You're gonna go back to working at GameStop. You're gonna go back to being at college and hating it. Like nothing's gonna change. So yeah, yeah,
Wow.
that's about it. The only reason I moved back here was to go full time with dancing because I was at a point where like I could, and the best dance schools are here. So yeah, that's when I was kind of like ready to leave.
Ready to come back home.
Yeah.
Had I moved to New Zealand, I would have just been trying to figure out a way to live in the hobbit holes that are there. Which did you go see them? Did you?
No, I
Oh,
never did. I'm so upset. I went all the way out there. I lived there for 3 years and I never traveled further than like 2 hours outside of Christchurch. Like I was always in Christchurch, which by the way, they have crazy earthquakes that are awful. I
oh,
think I genuinely started to develop like a fear of earthquakes there because they are like, I think they're like right on top of a fault or something, a fault line. I don't know.
yeah.
But they have some crazy earthquakes like 7.0s, 8.0s, like they're huge.
Wow.
But the Hobbit holes, so Christchurch where I lived is on the South Island.
Hmm.
Hobbiton is like on the very top of the North Island, and I never ever went to the North Island except for like the airport, and that was it.
Right.
So I'm really sad. I should have traveled more there.
Oh, yeah, yeah. You went to New Zealand. I think you're you're good.
Yeah, good
I'll
point.
forgive you on that one. Oh, so okay. So you were competing. I was about to say competing competitively, but that would be a little bit redundant. So you were competing and you were doing all that. Were you doing anything else to supplement yourself when you were trying to make it dance full time?
I mean, I was still working at my job. Like I only went full time when I moved back here. So I was working at an internet service provider as like a chat consultant for quite a while. And pretty much all of that revenue went to my stream, like upgrading my computer, getting better equipment, getting another monitor, whatever, like whatever I could do, or like commissioning an artist to do like my graphics and stuff like that.
Right.
So um, pretty much all of that went into like investing in myself. Um, and yeah, I was working that job like I want to say 50 hours a week. But
Wow.
while I was working, I would also be working on my channel. So like if it was slow and there weren't many chats coming in, I'd start doing random things for like the community or hang out with subs on Discord or whatever. Um, so it was a really busy like year I want to say about a year and a half is how long I was working and streaming at the same time. It was very busy. I would like wake up early, start work, and then immediately after work go stream for like a couple hours, and then would have to somehow find time to like still clean the house and eat
Yeah.
food
Oh
and
yeah.
go to the bathroom.
And maybe sleep at some point. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, and I mean, you see this. You see it a lot with in podcasting. I see it a lot, and with YouTubing, and I'm sure with Twitch streaming, where someone wants to get into it because they think I can play video games full time. I would be great at that, and they just kind of put themselves into it, thinking that if they just start the channel, they're going to have 10,000 viewers, and everyone is going to donate them all the money, and they're going to be able to quit their, whatever 9 to 5 job. But
Yeah.
I mean,
No.
yeah, it like you said, it took like what, a year and a half for you to even quit your
Hmm.
your first job, your main job, and
Yeah.
that's 50 hours a week, which is more than a lot of people work. So I
Yeah.
mean, you got to work hard for that.
Yes. No, it's you see it all the time, not in like the way that people act, but you can see it on their channels like when someone starts a new channel and like only has like a PayPal donation panel, there's no like about me or like there's no like chat rules or anything like that. It's just like give me money, and that's not the right reasons to do it. Like I started streaming simply because I found out about Twitch at the first World Cup that I did. They were broadcasting all of the esports from the Twitch booth, and I was like, "What's Twitch?" And that's when I got home, I was like asking my boyfriend at the time about it, different boyfriend, not the same one. And I was asking him about it, and he was like, "Oh yeah, like I watch Twitch all the time," and like he showed me the channel of this girl, OMG, it's Firefox, who was like my idol, like absolute idol, and she's also like incredibly sweet. Um, and oh my god, I'm going through puberty. I'm sorry. Um, uh, I was like, this looks like so much fun because I was watching her stream and I was like, this is pretty cool. I wonder if I can do Just Dance. And I like looked it up, and I technically at the time I could do Just Dance because Just Dance is a video game. And at the time there was no creative, there was no real life streaming. It was just gaming, and that was all it was.
Mhm.
Um, so I was like, technically I can stream this. I wouldn't get in trouble for it. So I started streaming on PlayStation, which is like super easy. You pretty much just link your Twitch to your PlayStation and then press a button and you stream. So it's
Right.
like the most basic way to stream, but there's no way to customize your stream or anything. It like looks exactly the same. Like you can't add like alerts to pop up when someone follows or anything like that. It's very, very basic. It's just your camera and the game, and that's it. Um, so I did that for about a year.
Yeah.
Um, until I decided to move to PC, which is really complicated, like really, really takes a lot of work to keep up everything that you want to put on the screen.
Yeah.
But basically, like I pretty much only started streaming because I wanted to get better. Like I thought that if I forced myself to dance in front of viewers, then it would force me to become a better entertainer. Like it would force me to remember to smile, and it would force me to look better while I'm dancing and be on point like all the time.
Right.
And that definitely helped a lot in the way that I dance now. Because when I look at my old highlights, I'm like, I was such a bad dancer.
Oh goodness. Oh.
Exactly. um, um, so that's pretty much why I started. I didn't know what partnership was. Like I didn't know anything about anything with Twitch. I only knew that like if you go into the PlayStation settings and hit start broadcast, that you start streaming, and that was it. Um, so I was learning while I was streaming, which was really interesting, and I started applying for partnerships. I think like 6 months after I started streaming.
Yeah.
And I got denied like 3 times before I finally got accepted. But it was definitely like a lot more work than I thought it would be, for
Mhm.
sure. Like I thought it would be super easy to like maintain the channel. Like it wasn't a big deal. You just put your panels up and then you just stream, and that was all you did. But
Mhm.
there's so much upkeep to it, and also spending time with your community as well. And trying to upgrade the stream and make it better. Like I'm saving up for like a new mic right now because I have a horrible habit of screaming, and it like peaks the microphone and like blows out everyone's eardrums. So I'm constantly saving up for like different things for the stream to make it better. Um, and yeah, it's not easy, but my biggest like advice always to people who want to start streaming is never do it to get partnered or do it for money or anything like that. Do it because like you just want to have fun and build a community, because that's when you really succeed. If you do it for money, then you're doing it for like the completely wrong reasons, and it's probably going to take you longer
Well,
than you think it.
and most of the people that try to do that, they drop out anyway because a lot. The people that I've known trying to do that, they just want to find their get rich quick scheme.
Yeah.
And I mean, like you said, at the beginning, it's just hit and go and you're doing it because you like it. But now that you're partnered, it's a full time job. I mean, you have
Yeah,
to.
it's even harder than it was when I wasn't partnered. So
Right.
yeah, it's difficult.
And yeah, I can imagine, I was trying to think about, 2 episodes ago, I talked to a guy that does taxes out in California. And I just kept thinking, I don't understand how you would I don't do your taxes as a Twitch streamer or as not even just a Twitch streamer, a YouTuber, or someone that runs an Etsy page. It feels like if you just showed up there and you're like, "Hi, help me, please."
Yeah. Yeah. So I am actually doing them for the first time as a partner because I didn't get my first, I was technically partnered in October of 2015, but I didn't get my first payment until January of 2016.
Okay.
So because of that, I didn't have to do 2015 taxes at all. But I'm doing them for the first time now, and they still send us a form, which is a great starting point, because if they didn't send us a form, I'd be like, I don't know where to start. But the cool thing is there's a lot that we can write off. Like we can write off the peripherals that we buy for our computers. I can write off my entire move from New Zealand to America, which is like
Wow.
amazing because it was like thousands of dollars.
Oh, I bet. Wow. Yeah.
I can write off the dumb costumes I buy for stream. Like I have an inflatable dinosaur costume that I dance in all the time, so I can write that off. We can write off anything that we use for stream, which is like really, really helpful. But that means there's like a lot of paperwork, and also our pay isn't taxed at all. So we pretty much are always guaranteed to owe money.
Right.
But I had a really, really slow start to being partnered. Like I think most people on their first day get like 100 or 200 subs. I got 10 and I didn't get 100 until like 6 months later. So I had a really, really slow year last year. So I think I'm going to be okay. Hopefully we'll find out. Hopefully I won't like cry in the corner. But yeah, since we don't get taxed, pretty much every partner is just like, taxes.
Here's my money. Yeah, my husband has a at-home computer business and he does the same thing where he just sort of keeps a bank account with like a certain percentage of the money that he makes. He's like, this is just what we're going to send to the government because I owe it to them. So
yeah.
And yeah, crying in the corner, I think is just part of doing taxes. So you're not wrong.
Well, the only time I ever did taxes here was when I was working at like retail stores where like I made nothing. So I always got money back. I'd get like a couple hundred back and I'd be like, yes, hundreds of dollars.
I'm so rich. Yeah.
Yeah. But now that I know I'm going to owe, I'm like, crap. But hopefully it's okay. I'm staying positive about it.
Yeah. You have to stay positive in the face of taxes or they eat you alive.
Yeah, exactly. It's a beautiful quote. You have to stay positive in the face of taxes.
Well, okay, so that kind of exhausts my list of questions. I mean, that was all great. I mean, you worked really hard for what you have, and I mean, I hope all of your dreams come true. Do you have like an end goal? Like, what if you woke up tomorrow and you could have like whatever your dream job was? What would it be?
Backup dance for Beyonce. Oh yeah,
that's fantastic. Yes.
No, I don't really know. I mean, backup dancing looks like so much fun because I love being on a stage and dancing in front of a bunch of people.
Mm-hmm.
But it also looks incredibly hard because you're almost guaranteed to be in heels, which dancing in heels is like hard enough. And also that's at a point where like you're dancing like 8 hours a day, and I'm still struggling to dance for like 3 hours a day.
Right.
So I'm working on it. I would love to get there someday, but honestly, I'm in no rush because I'm still doing what I love for a living and I want to learn at like my own pace. So, yeah, just keep Twitch streaming until Twitch dies eventually, which I don't think will happen for like a really long time. And hopefully just keep being able to dance regardless of where it is or if it's on a stage or not.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I think, Twitch may come and go, but dancing is definitely forever. So that's
Exactly. Or
perfect.
just keep dancing until I get like some injury that stops me from dancing forever. And then I'll like forever refer to it as the accident.
The accident. That's when Avery took an arrow to the knee.
Exactly.
So, okay,
Yeah.
so my last question for you. What do you think, we already talked about taxes, but what do you think the hardest part of being an adult type person is?
In general, like not just including Twitch, but just like
Yes.
adult life. um just getting my stuff done in general, like pretty much every day there's a to-do list and I am constantly running around like going to my PO box or like going to the grocery store or like getting stuff for like the cat or cleaning the house or whatever, like on top of like streaming. Getting everything done is probably the hardest part, and I know a ton of people that are just like, I'll just procrastinate and not do it, but like that is not what I want to be like. I want to get everything done and be as efficient as possible.
Right.
So I think that's probably the hardest part, but that's why I make lists, and lists are like a godsend to me. They're just the best things ever created. So
Lists forever.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and with procrastinating, I mean, the worst part about procrastinating is that you're eventually going to have to do it anyway, and now you're just piling on
Exactly.
top of a bunch of other stuff, so now you're doing so
Exactly.
much crap. So yeah, just
Yeah.
just do
No,
it.
that's the thing is when I do try to relax, when I know I have stuff to do, I'm still stressed out. It's just that I'm stressed out in bed. Like
Yeah.
nothing's different. I'm still freaking out. So I just try to get everything done as soon as possible and just stop like being like, I'll do it later.
Just
Because
staring at
it's
your
just
ceiling. Oh, I should have done all this stuff.
exactly my point.
Oh, I
Yeah.
get it. I get it. Well, okay. That's what I had unless you had anything else you would like to, like, I don't know, bequeath to to the world.
Bequeath to the world. There's a conspiracy that Scooby Doo was actually a cat, but I don't know if I believe it.
I'm looking into that immediately.
I don't know. I just wanted to say like the most like random, not related to this topic at all
That's
thing.
fantastic.
So there you go. There
All
you go,
right.
world. Scooby Doo was a cat.
Scooby Doo was a cat, and my favorite random theory on cartoons is that John and Odie weren't real, and Garfield just lived in an abandoned house and was having like delusions. It's actually, yeah,
No,
it's just,
that's so sad.
it's so weird. Although there
You
is
ruined my day.
oh, no, no, no. I'll put it back. I'll put it back. There's an entire like website. It's called like Garfield without Garfield, and they just edit Garfield out of all the panels, and it makes John look just like an insane guy, just wandering around yelling at the walls.
I love it. I want to read that.
Okay. Well, where can everybody find you online? Just plug
You can
plug
find
away.
my streams at twitch.tv/Little Siha, and Siha spelled Siha. Everything else is Little Siha. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, whatever. That's all Little Siha. So yeah.
Type that into Google, and you'll just find her everywhere.
Yeah, type it into the Google. Do
Into the Google. One Google, please.
it.
All right. Well, thank you very much for being here with us.
I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
So there you go, guys. That was Avery, and she was she was delightful to talk to. It was one of those things where I've watched her stream a couple of times. Very different talking to her actually in person. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I had a lot of fun talking to her and learned a lot, and kind of now really want to go to New Zealand, if not just to visit hobbit holes, which I wanted to do anyway, but now I've just sort of reinforced my goal to do that. So I'm going to add that to my short list of goals because, New Zealand, really easy to get to and definitely not super far away. Ugh. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you guys have any other cool careers or know anybody with a cool career that you would like me to profile, please let me know. I would love to talk to them. And how do you get a hold of me? Let me tell you, dear listener. You can email me, learntoadult@gmail.com, or you can get a hold of me on Twitter @learntoadult. I have also started a Facebook group for the podcast, so you don't miss a single minute of any of my awesome ideas or when I post podcasts. That is at facebook.com/learntoadultpodcast, all one word. And also, you can subscribe on iTunes, Stitcher, or Podbean. I have all of those thrown up there now. Now, I don't think that there's a single way that you can miss my podcast. It's fantastic. If you're on iTunes, please do me a favor and throw me a review. I would like to say thank you to 2 of my reviews that I just got on iTunes in the last week. One from Ryan Strikes Back and the other from Josh Morgan at Plural of You. Both of them fantastic reviews, 5 stars, glowing, if not gleaming. And thank you guys so much. I did not ask or beg for them. They were just given to me organically, and I appreciate them very much. So if you guys would like to leave a review, believe me, you can also make me all choked up and happy that you are listening to my fantastic podcast. So guys, join me next week where I will be doing one of my, I'm going to say old school, but this is like the 15th episode, so it can't really be going back to my roots. But back to my roots of just giving you a quick little snippet of things, a little 10-minute episode for you. We might be getting interviews back here in the next week or so. So I will see you guys next week. See ya!